Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV Plus, presented by Chevrolet. A scorching day in Cincinnati, appropriate for the red-hot play of the Cincinnati Reds. Tonight, they welcome the first-place Milwaukee Brewers for a significant four-game division series. It's also a significant day across baseball. Lou Gehrig Day, the Iron Horse, passing away from ALS 82 years ago today, and whose legacy of courage is still at the forefront for those who battle it and those who research a cure. As we welcome you inside. Hi, everybody. Alex Faust, Ryan Spielberg's here with you, wearing T-shirts in honor of the day, and we'll talk about the significance of today as well. We'll hear from Tricia Whitaker in just a couple of moments. To the game at hand, though, and the Cincinnati Reds, a young team swinging the bat pretty well, not just giving glimpses of the future, they're playing terrific baseball. Yeah, they are building upon what they want to, and there's a lot of homegrown talent. There's a lot of young players that are swinging the bat well. We saw a fantastic road trip that they just finished off, going 5-1. They swept the Cubs. They took care of the Red Sox. Matt McClain made his major league debut about 2 weeks ago. He's phenomenal. Fast, plays good quality defense at shortstop. And then you have players like TJ Friedl up the middle, also leading the team in OPS, has speed, can do the bunts, he can do everything. Then you have some players, a right-hand bat in Spencer Steer. He's leading rookies with extra base hits. He's also leading rookies in hits. He is phenomenal, and they're growing upon him as well. And then you look at the heartbeat, the lifeblood of this young upcoming team. Jonathan India, former Rookie of the Year. He doesn't strike out. He hits the ball hard. He's playing quality defense up the middle. There's a lot to look forward to with this group. And the Reds overall offensive production has been tremendous since May 5th. This is one of the hottest teams in Major League Baseball, having just won 5 of 6, one of their best road trips in years. They take on a Milwaukee Brewers team whose bats have struggled all season long. They've had to rely on defense and pitching, and tonight they'll have to rely on their ace once again in Corbin Burnes. Yeah, Corbin Burnes, phenomenal pitcher. It just hasn't been as good this season, but he's starting to show signs of it. For us, as we're watching Corbin Burnes, his fastball command, the cut fastball, it's a devastating pitch. The first 2 games of the season got tagged close to a 10 ERA. It's a small sample size. Since then, he has been building momentum. His last start against the Giants looked phenomenal. And for Corbin Burnes, over the last couple of years, this has been one of the league's premier strikeout pitcher. He's number 1 in strikeouts percentage at 33%. This year, not so much. It's down to 22%, and he's been struggling just putting guys away when he gets to 2 strikes. And the numbers don't lie. Burnes has been one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball over the last couple years. The Brewers hoping to give him a little more support today in a ballpark that's been friendly to them over the years, trying to hang on to first place in the division as they face the red-hot Reds and their rookie Matt McClain on this Lou Gehrig Day. Lineups and first pitch from Cincinnati coming up next.
Mark by playing in 2,130 consecutive games. Then a fatal disease attacked baseball's Iron Man. In Yankee Stadium, touched to tears by the tribute, Gehrig made his last public appearance.
For the past 2 weeks, you've been reading about a bad Greg. Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. When you look around, wouldn't you consider it privilege to associate yourself with such a fine-looking man as is standing in uniform in this ballpark today?
That I might have been given a bad break, but I've got an awful lot to live for. Thank you.
Lou Gehrig lost his battle with ALS 82 years ago today, the same day that 16 years earlier he embarked on that incredible Ironman streak. And that historic speech that you just heard, that's one of the most iconic speeches in American history. It brought an awareness to the disease that now bears his name and forever enlisted baseball in the fight to end its cure. Last October, Sarah Langs, another member of the baseball family, she went public with her diagnosis of ALS at just age 29. And MLB Stats and research guru. In 2021, she made MLB history as the game analyst on the sport's first all-female broadcast. Now, she's been faced with the unforgiving progression of the disease. She intends to use her platform to educate and raise funds to find a cure. And on her birthday, on May 2nd, Langs launched a campaign, Fist Bumps for ALS, on social media. People who donate are asked to post a video or a photo fist bumping and then to nominate 3 others to do the same. The idea is similar to the Ice Bucket Challenge that ended up raising $220 million for ALS research. And as Sarah always says, baseball is the best. And today we are so proud to don these T-shirts made by Sarah Langs to support research for ALS.
Well, Sarah's story is just inspirational, and she has the entire baseball world behind her for sure, Spilly.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, baseball is a fraternity. It's a special knit group, and you know, you love on Sarah, you love on people and their family and their caretakers that are dealing with ALS. It's an insidious disease, and you look at something that Sarah tweets out. You know, her day today, she mentioned Juan Soto has a 204 weighted runs created plus, which is the highest in Major League Baseball. She continues her life. She continues to inspire, and we're going to find a cure at some point.
For sure. Zach Brown Band is going to be playing a benefit concert after the game today, hence the early start time this afternoon, and we'll dive into the story and the significance and their connection to ALS as well. Starting lineups are presented by MLB The Show 23. The Brewers lineup featuring Owen Miller, who's hitting .354 with 11 extra base hits in 24 games since May 1st. Miller currently has an MLB The Show 23 player rating of 76. And he is the 5th best average in the big leagues since May 3rd. Brewers have shaken up their lineup just a bit, trying to get these bats going. Darren Ruff is in the leadoff spot for them here today on a hot afternoon in Cincinnati. Highs in the low 90s. Scorching conditions this late afternoon start as the Reds take the field in their City Connect uniforms. All black on a warm afternoon.
Yeah, those are all black, but they are fire.
Brandon Williamson will toe the rubber for the Reds. Called up by Cincinnati on May 16th. This will be his 4th career Major League starts, Billy.
I'm interested to see Williamson, former TCU draft pick, was drafted by the Seattle Mariners. This is his 4th Major League start. 2 have come on the road. They say he's a strike thrower. In the minor leagues, he was striking out a lot of guys. In the big leagues, not quite so much. And for Williamson, he throws a little bit of a cut fastball, is aggressive in the strike zone, just kind of needs to get through the first part of the lineup. And for Milwaukee, we've said this about Milwaukee trying to figure out their lineup. They need to figure out a way to beat lefties. Here's a little spill the beans, get you into some of the keys to the game for Brandon Williamson. Knee deep, get through the first inning. These are some Zach Brown Band songs. Get through the first inning and then settle in. And out in the middle, they need to find a way to get some length. The Reds came in last night around 3 in the morning. Their bullpen has been used quite a bit on that nice road trip, so they want to see some length out of Williamson.
Spill the beans, huh? Trademark pending. StatCast is powered by Google Cloud. Let's take a look at the arsenal for Williamson.
It's a cut fastball, the 4-seam fastball off of it, the slider, and the changeup. He will throw the occasional curveball, so he has a little bit of everything. The fastball, it's not going to overwhelm you with velocity, but he's 6'6" from Minnesota. Grew up in that part of the country, and for him, it's about deception. It's about throwing strikes and creating a little bit of angles for him to get in on right-handed hitters.
All right, so just about ready to go here in Cincinnati. The Reds just 3 games back of the Brewers in the NL Central. Milwaukee just a half game up on Pittsburgh coming into the day. Williamson's first pitch is a strike to Darren Ruff, and we're off and running. Ruff moved into the leadoff spot here today. Milwaukee is just trying to find any combination that gives them more offense. The Brewers 25th in Major League Baseball in runs scoring this year. They've been shut out 3 times in an 8-game span over the last couple of weeks. Played a series against Toronto, limited to just 7 runs in those 3 games. They need to find a spark.
Well, Ruff has been a notorious left-handed masher. And so Council knows they're going to switch over to right-handed relievers at some point.
Inside.
But you're going to try to get Darren Ruff, try to get Owen Miller, who's been on fire for the Brewers, the most amount of at-bats against Williamson.
3-1.
Ruff, who, take a look at his splits, was released by the Giants in mid-May, signed with the Brewers. 3 balls and a strike from the rookie Williams. And his 3-1 pitch is in the dirt, gets all the way to the backstop. Ruff gives it a look, but will jog down to first base. Williamson, you alluded to it, had, for whatever reason, maybe it's nerves or something else, trouble the first time through the order and has settled in his 3 starts once he gets through the order.
That's a good start for Milwaukee, bad start for Williamson. He just a non-competitive 3-1 pitch that was spiked.
And I'll bring up Owen Miller, and what a story he's been. A Wisconsin native having a tremendous year for the Brewers, leading them in average and OPS this year. Miller lifts one into shallow right. Coming on is Jake Fraley to make the catch. 1 down. First meeting of the season between the Reds and the Brewers. First time that Milwaukee's faced a division opponent since May 17th. They only have 9 division games this year, which could be good news, bad news as we take a look at the Reds' defensive alignment. Will Benson in left, Stuart Fairchild in center, Jake Fraley in right. Senzel McLean, the rookie, India at second, and Kevin Newman making his first career start at the major league level at first base. They're without TJ Friedl, who is day-to-day with a hamstring strain. We don't yet have a word on whether he's available off the bench. Was getting some late treatment this afternoon by the Reds training staff. William Contreras at the plate, bounces one to third, could be a double play, and it is 5-4-3 to retire the side. Half an inning through, the Reds coming to bat in Cincinnati after Senzel begins the double play. Show 23, the Reds lineup featuring Jonathan India, who's batting .330 with a .980 OPS in 28 games at home this season. India currently has an MLB The Show 23 player rating of 74. You notice Kevin Newman at the top of this order for the Reds. Newman, who's been put in that position. The Reds battling a couple of injuries at the moment.
Yeah, if it works, you don't have to fix it, right?
Yep. Batted leadoff each of the last 2 games for Cincinnati. He had a 13 pitch at bat to draw a walk against the Cubs on Sunday during that terrific road trip for the Reds. Shaking things up, of course, India, the longtime leadoff man, as Newman flies one to shallow left. Trouble in the sun for Yelich, who comes a long way to make the catch. Corbin Burns on the mound for the Brewers. 6 quality starts this year. That's top 10 in the National League. We should expect nothing less.
I mean, easier said than done, especially when the Brewers and Reds match up. They usually have high-scoring affairs, but for Corbin, the cut fastball, it's virtually impossible to hit. Righties are hitting .293 this season, which is a little strange because you're not accustomed to seeing such a high number against it.
Oh, this is smacked into left, right at Yelich. Matt McLean, the rookie, with a hard hit ball, but the second out. Let's spill the beans, shall we, Spilly, on Corbin Burns.
Well, we'll continue on with the Zach Brown Band theme songs for Corbin. Chicken Fried. I'd like to see him continue to use the strikeout. This is a very patient team. Get first pitch strikes and put him away pretty easy and be someone I used to know. For Corbin Burns, walk rate much higher this season than it has been in recent memory.
I'll bring up Jonathan India. Several years as the leadoff man. He's been moved out of that spot for the Reds. Numbers have dipped in the games since he's been moved out of that role. But the Reds just trying to figure stuff out right now. They've got a glut of infielders at the moment. We'll dive into that as we go. And India, who's played in every game for Cincinnati this year. Strike 1 and 2. 96-mile-an-hour heater. Burns trying to work a quick first inning here. And the count evens at 2 and 2.
I'll point this out to you, Alex. For a lot of baseball players, travel days for both teams. The Reds got in at 3 a.m. Brewers got in a lot earlier, coming from Toronto when it's hot. A different time. These games tend to move pretty quick because pitchers are going to be aggressive.
Andy on the ground is short. Gobbled up by Andrew Monasterio. And he throws across for a 1-2-3 inning. Has an affinity for the sport of baseball. John Driscoll Hopkins is a member of the band, but also is afflicted by the same disease we've been talking about, ALS, and he has become a face of the campaign for a cure. Hop, it is a pleasure to meet you.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me up here in the fun box.
The fun box?
Yeah.
Well, you're sitting next to Spilly, so this is certainly the fun box.
Take us through, I mean, for you, life-changing diagnosis, day to day. How's it different for you since you got the word?
You know, I'm so far I've been very lucky. I'm moving a little slower, but I'm still able to sing and play guitar, and I'm just taking it day by day. I'm noticing some strength, balance, and speed issues.
You performed the national anthem here, and as a singer, I mean, voice is critical. You know, what do you have to be mindful of as you continue on? You're still touring. You're still active.
Yeah. As long as I can be, as long as I can perform and contribute with excellence, I want to be out there every day that I can. You know, my range has been affected a little bit. My speed, like I said, with my speech has been affected. My tone is still pretty solid. You know, but
you crushed it on the anthem.
You know, I'm noticing things that maybe other people don't notice, but it started for me in 2019. You know, we thought it was statin drugs, and so we had to go down the rabbit hole and figure out this, that, and the other. Maybe it's this, and we didn't get a diagnosis until 2 years later. So.
And when you consider Major League Baseball, it looks like a balk was called. Hopper, when you consider Major League Baseball and ALS and Lou Gehrig again, and not having a cure for ALS, and now your charity that's trying to find a cure, how did that all come together for you?
Well, we took a couple of months to really let it sink in, but you know, with the platform that we are a part of, it felt more like a responsibility than a choice to get out there and really try to make a difference. You know, ALS is not incurable. It is grossly underfunded, and people don't understand that cases will increase by 40% in the next 10 years. We used to think it was 1 in 20,000. Now it's 1 in 300.
Wow.
It's amazing how many more people have been afflicted with this. And it used to be, you know, super rare, and it's not anymore.
One of the things that I know is a big priority for those in this community is access to experimental treatment. And there have been roadblocks and a lot of things that just have to become unglued for people to get access to that. Do you believe, and have you seen that with all of this exposure to what's going on, do you believe that we're seeing change?
I think we are. You know, the government has stepped in with some funding toward expanded access programs, and that's important. But research is of the utmost importance, I believe. I think we need to focus on healing everyone and making this stop in its tracks. You know, 20 years ago, HIV was a death sentence, and it's not anymore. and people are able to live with that. So I think we need to get ALS to where it's livable and stop the progression, and then start to reverse it. Motor neurons need a chance to heal, and this research will affect Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and a host of other motor neuron diseases. So it's not as specific or as rare as most people might think.
Tonight, after this baseball game, you're performing at this ballpark. You're performing.
Oh.
You're performing, and you guys have played. You played in Boston with the Red Sox. Will be a ground out right now. What is it about baseball stadiums that you enjoy performing?
I mean, this is the ultimate amphitheater, you know, and if we were bringing all of our production and we were here for 2 days setting up, we'd be out in right field and we'd have put the plastic floor down and there'd be seats and all that. This is going to be a whole different experience because you get to come see a game, and then we're going to wheel out a stage and it's going to deliver 90 minutes of rock.
Who called us? Call a homer for us.
Home run!
Joey Weimer.
How to do?
That was great.
It's out of here. I can think of them all. Yeah.
Keep it going. There's Joey Weimer. 2-run shot.
That's cool.
Give me that cheese.
Give me the cheese. Cheeseheads.
Former Cincinnati Bearcat back in Queen City. And it's 2-0 Milwaukee. Bring up Victor Caratini to capture for the Brewers. Tell me about Hop on a Cure, because I know this was something that you started recently to try to not only draw attention but raise funds.
Yeah, I was diagnosed December 21, and by May of 22 we had put together Hop on a Cure. We just passed a year and we've raised $1 million, a little bit in excess of that, and that's 4 times what we expected. So we're very excited. We are having an announcement at each of the concerts, and we're the Reds have been incredible to support Hop on a Cure and to let Zach Brown Band come and be a part of this day, this Lou Gehrig Day. And so we hope to continue to double that if we can next year, and continue to make grants toward the most cutting-edge research facilities in the country.
Honor and a privilege to get to meet you here
Thanks,
today.
guys.
Thanks, Hopper.
Tonight. So cool. Thank you for having me.
We'll see you later tonight down on the field.
All right.
Plus is presented by Chevrolet, official vehicle of Major League Baseball. Special afternoon, special evening across baseball on this Lou Gehrig Day. Alex Faust, Brian Spielbergs, Trisha Whitaker here with you. 2-0 Brewers. 2-run homer from Joey Weimer. As they look to get out of this offensive rut. There haven't been a lot of home runs lately for this Brewers team coming in.
No, and for Joey, that has to feel so good because the defense has never taken a day off.
Oh no. 4, 5, and 6 for Cincinnati, who were retired in order in the first.
How about Hopper getting the homer call?
I love that. He's got a heck of a baritone. Man. Can't wait to see the concert later tonight. Here's another look at the homer from Weimer.
Yeah, you got to pitch up, and for Weimer, he's been hitting left-handers better than right-handers. Brewers have needed some offense.
It's actually quite the shot. Second longest home run by a Brewer this season.
When you hit one, you want to make sure it's a no-doubter. You don't have to guess about it. You can think about putting it on the cheese head.
There's a walk to Fraley to lead off the second.
That's the frustrating part for Corbin Burns. He is so accustomed to not walking anybody, and so you score 2. You want to get the leadoff batter out in a hurry, and you walked him.
Take a look at the Brewers defense. Yelich, Weimer, and Anderson from left to right in the outfield. Brasso, Monasterio, minor league call up at short. Of course, with the injury to Willie Adames, trying to fill that spot offensively and defensively. Miller and Ruff at second and first, and Caratini behind the plates. Significant that Caratini is the catcher today as well. Seems like he's been a better battery mate for Burns this year. Been rotating with William Contreras. Tyler Stevenson now for the Reds.
It's inside.
That's the thing. When you have certain catchers that match up well with certain pitchers, you don't want it to become a thing. You know, it's something you talk about, but you don't talk about. There's Caratini receiving that inside fastball. William Contreras is ranked very well in all of these defensive metrics, so it's not about not being a good receiver.
Stevenson, who's swinging a good bat lately, rode in on him. 3 multi-hit games his last 8. As you take a look at the splits between Burns and the 2 backstops.
Pretty significant differences between both. Try not to read too much into it, but there is a comfort level for pitchers, and that's usually private between catcher, manager, and that pitcher.
Stevenson went around the count 2-2.
2-2.
What do you think? Think he went? I think he went.
Yeah.
I think if he hit that baseball, it's a double to right.
Stevenson was terrific. That's the second disengagement, notably, for Burns. Keep an eye on the base runner. Stevenson last year, injury curtailed season. But a terrific average of balls in play at 409. 2-2 pitch. Runner goes. Pitch outside. Throw down to second. Not in time. The ball dribbles away anyway. Fraley looked like he got a hand on the base before a would-be tag from Miller.
Nice job from Jake Fraley at first. Now they were going to challenge because in the case of Corbin Burns, not a quick movement towards home plate, and Caratini averages about 2.09 seconds with his pop time, which is well below league average.
Stevenson, ground ball the other way. Miller to his left for the first out of the inning, but that moves the runner over to third. And Stevenson does his job.
Take a quality at bat from Tyler Stevenson. They do want to get his bat going. That's been some of the concerns about the power numbers for this Reds team near the bottom of baseball in homers, and they're hoping to get Stevenson, has 2 on the season, swinging the bat.
That's the thing, though. The Reds, in a ballpark that has been hitter friendly from the day it opened, across the board, just not slugging all that much, but hasn't seemed to affect them too much from an offensive standpoint. Since May 15th, this has been one of the best run producing teams in baseball as Nick Senzel digs in. Reds looking for their 6th win in a 7-game span. Senzel the second with the infield in. The throw goes back in time. And the Reds have their first run of the game. Fraley was taking off on contact as Senzel drives him in. It's 2-1.
Just aggressive base running. Owen Miller, ball hit around 77 miles an hour off the end of the bat. It's not hit particularly hard. Does his best to get something on that throw. There's not enough on it. It looks like Fraley, he's underneath it. So stolen base, The walk, the stolen base, quality at bat from Stevenson, moving him over, and then you have a team at bat from Senzel.
Here's Stuart Fairchild. Been rotated around the outfield a bunch for Cincinnati this year. Claimed off waivers by the Reds last summer, back with the team that originally drafted him.
Funny how that works. Senzel at first, has 4 stolen bases, has been caught once. I expect him to at least take a shot again.
I think you're alluding to it as well. Like, the Reds have done everything but slug. I mean, they're aggressive on the base pass. They put the ball in play, and just saw that base running produce a run. David Bell, the young team. A strikeout for Burns for the second out, as Fairchild goes down swinging.
And first strikeout down for Corbin Burns. Throws a sinking fastball. We're so accustomed to seeing the cutter. And he goes 2-seamer in at 96.
There's Will Benson in his 3rd stint at Major League level with the Reds this year.
Benson had some big hits in Boston. Quality at bats.
Yeah, had his first career triple over that road trip. Crossed up there, count 1-1.
Well, the Reds got Benson from the Guardians, and it's interesting. You see a lot of teams when they share a spring training facility. Reds and Guardians share one in Goodyear. There's a lot of switching of hands of certain players.
Burns trying to limit the Reds to just 1. He does just that. A strikeout for Benson. 2 Ks for Burns in the inning, but the Reds are on the board. And it's 2-1 Milwaukee through 2. MGM. Odds to win the NL Central. And the Brewers in first place as of now. How about the Cardinals jumping up to the 2nd best odds? They've been playing much better since their horrific start.
They're 7 games below 500. It just goes to show you how Vegas loves the Cardinals.
I mean, they're still playing better. I mean, it couldn't play much worse than where they started, I guess. But
yeah, they were off to a bad start.
And this Reds team that's in 3rd place right now, not getting much love from the odds makers. Since April 24th, the Reds have the best record in the NL Central. Cincinnati's won 7 of 10 coming in. Brewers have lost 10 of 16, but still are atop the division. They have not seen Pittsburgh take advantage. They've had a bad month of May. Now we'll see if the calendars change to June. Changes that. 1-2 pitch to Mike Brasso has popped up right field. Fraley underneath it makes the catch. During the break, Trisha Whitaker caught up with Reds manager David Bell for our manager interview presented by Sage.
All right, let's start with the bottom of the 2nd inning. Fraley, the nice steal, and then Fraley and Stevenson, that quality at bat. Fraley comes in to score. What'd you like about that?
Speed. Yeah, it was really, we got that run from Jake, taking advantage of an opportunity right there to steal a base. Tyler did a good job of putting the ball in play, and then Nick puts the ball in play, and Jake Fraley, perfect execution of going on contact right there. He just sold out to it and was barely able to sneak in.
And then Williamson, what are you seeing from him? The base hit, the bulk, and then the home run early in the game.
Yeah, I haven't seen it on video yet. It looked like maybe a cutter that he was trying to get ahead with and maybe got a little too much to the plate. But other than that, he looks pretty good.
David, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
It's been fun to watch David Bell's team over the last month plus, hasn't it?
They've been working. And you know there's more coming. That's the excitement of this Reds organization. Brand new City Connect uniforms that's looking towards the future. And there's a lot to look forward to. It's a young core group of players. There's some prospects coming. It's a long strike from Darren Ruff.
Time.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Ruff. Led off the game with a walk. Just 5 for 25 since joining the Brewers. And Ruff shoots one foul up the right field line.
Ruff has an interesting career path where it's taken him overseas. He played a couple of years in Korea before coming back.
Yeah, Dad!
Wow. Ruff went around in the eyes of the home plate umpire, DJ Rayburn.
Hitters aren't going to care so much if he called on a check swing, which he went.
Yep.
But hitters would prefer if you go down to first base. So DJ Rayburn, he got the call right, but there's no arguing if you throw it down to John Lipka, who's the first base umpire.
So here's Miller with a line drive single. A 2-out hit.
We had the pleasure of watching Owen Miller break out of a game when we were in Milwaukee when they took on the Kansas City Royals. Hit his first home run in a Brewers uniform in Milwaukee, where he grew up. Owen Miller talking to Kevin Newman. Newman was saying before the game he's never played first base in his entire career. He's going to figure it out. He's got good hands, but he didn't know what he was going to say to players when they got to first base.
How about, were you chatty when you were on the base paths?
It depends on how much coffee I had before the game.
What do you say? What do you even talk about?
Life.
Ball blocked by Luke Maley, who scampers to his left.
Give you an example. You get over first base. If you get a base hit, it's a nice swing. Thanks, man. How things going for you? They're all right. I'm hanging in there. First game at first. Awesome. Wow, your first game at first base. Are you nervous? Yeah, I'm nervous. Your family here? They paying attention? Nah, man. That's usually the chit chat.
Okay. Well, if we just put you there with a cup of coffee, it's a one-man conversation. 2-0.
Like that could be a Broadway show.
Could be. One-man play. William Contreras here. DHing today. Of course, the Brewers now having to shuffle things offensively without Willie Adames, without Jesse Winker, still without Luis Urias. Hope to have Urias back soon.
He's getting closer. Spent a little time with Craig Counsell. He said Urias is getting closer. The Adames concussion was scary. He was hit by a foul ball while he was in the dugout.
Hard hit ground ball, but right at McLean, who will be due up in the bottom half of the third. The rookie who has impressed quite a bit for the Cincinnati Reds in a 2-1 game in the Queen City. On Apple TV Plus, presented by Chevrolet. Alongside the 7-year Major League veteran Ryan Spielberg, Trisha Whitaker down on the field. Alex Faust here with you. Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, the site. late afternoon into early evening on this Lou Gehrig Day benefit concert going on after the game. Fans filing in a little bit late after a Friday in the office, understandably. Luckily, this ballpark right on the edge of the downtown area in Cincinnati. Hot day in the Queen City. That pitch may have clipped Maley. As it didn't graze his jersey.
Jumping out of the way. Your natural reaction is just, especially when a baseball's coming at you, move.
You seen that story of that Division III team that's doing the exact opposite? Just like that's their whole strategy is stand really close to the plate and just take a ton. Yeah. They're like in the Division III College World Series right now.
And find the transfer portal. I couldn't do it.
2 balls and a strike to the Cincinnati catcher Maley, and he takes inside. Fine 1-2 due up against Corbin Burns.
Ball 4, it's down.
And that's a leadoff walk for Maley. During the break, Tricia Whitaker caught up with Brewers manager Craig Counsell. Our manager interview presented by Sage, talking about the home run earlier in the game.
Yeah, cool for Joey. He's a Cincinnati kid, so first at bat back in his hometown, and Homer's happy for him.
Corbin Burns coming off his best start in over a month. What are you seeing from him on the mound today?
Yeah, good stuff to start. I think he's a little mad at himself in the walk to lead off the second, but other than that, throwing the ball really well.
Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Guys?
Joey Weimer, the Cincinnati kid that Craig is alluding to. First time he's been back here since playing his college ball as a Cincinnati Bearcat. There he is.
Not fun. I mean, you think of Joey in center field. Luke Maley at first is from Covington, Kentucky. He's right over the bridge. Should get out of play. Which he might have hurt his knee.
Yeah. Kind of collided with the tarp awkwardly there in rough. Those tarps are plastic or nylon, but I think he's bleeding there. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he got cut. It might not have been the tarp. Sometimes where the netting attaches,
this would be a good look. That's still a pretty significant hunk of metal that they roll the tarp around. That doesn't give very much. So he's going to get tended to by the Brewers training staff.
Scariest part for athletes is when you start giving chase to a baseball and there's an extra object.
Kind of overhearing that conversation here. Scott Behringer is the lead athletic trainer for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, bleeding really bad. Yeah, he is. Yeah. I don't know if I can do anything to stop you from doing that.
I think he has to be removed from the game here, Billy.
Yeah, he did good. I just want to at least get it wrapped up and look at it. Okay. Okay. Maybe bring him back out. Just at least want to wrap it up. Yeah. Yep.
So they're going to give him a chance to take a break. You heard the athletic trainer, give me a chance to wrap it up and see if I can get him back on the field. Counsell is saying, all right, well, here's what do you want me to do? I think that's what he's saying. What do you want me to do? You want to put Rowdy there?
Well, I was going to say, if he's removed from the game, he's removed from the game. He can't go back in.
I used to see this in Japan. I played a year there, and players would go down into the tunnel and come back, but Ruff does not look
No.
Like he's capable of coming back even if they could wrap it up.
Burns will have a couple of warm-up pitches as Rowdy Tellez comes into the game off the bench. That's the last thing Milwaukee needs is another injury.
Because his right knee right into the tarp. I have not seen that one before.
Oh, this is skied to center off the bat of Kevin Newman. One away in the third. So that actually takes a bat that may have been used later in the game, and Tellez off the bench, and he's inserted defensively for Milwaukee. That'll bring out the rookie Matt McLean. McLean running a 10-game hitting streak coming in, longest on the team, period, this year.
Good player. He's drafted the first round, turned it down, went to college at UCLA, played for John Savage.
Reigning National League Player of the Week. And only his second week in the big leagues.
I saw him make his major league debut in Colorado. There's a lot to like.
Strike on the corner, 1-2.
Caratini might have massaged the strike in there.
Two and two. Two balls and two strikes. Burns deals, and McLean strikes out.
It's now 3 strikeouts for Corbin Burns. The inning started off with a walk, frustrated him a little bit. There's that cut fastball. When he's aggressive with it, it is so hard to hit. And for some of the hitters, just the start time too, you're not only having to contend with one of the league's best right-handers, but now the shadows are going to start to come into play. Right behind home plate, the way the stadium is set up with the rafters, start putting the hitters in the shadows.
Here's India. And India flies one to right, pretty deep. Anderson going back to the track, to the wall. It's gone! Jonathan India with a 2-run homer, and the Reds have the lead.
Well, the Reds are making Corbin Burns pay for leadoff walks. A leadoff walk to Luke Maile, and then Jonathan India, first pitch cut fastball. He gets to be the Viking.
It's the first home run that Corbin Burns has ever allowed in this stadium, and now a bloop in the left for Jake Fraley, who rounds first and heads back. 21 2/3 innings pitched for Corbin Burns in this ballpark in his career, but never a home run until this afternoon.
And just a nice short swing from Jonathan India. The exit velocity is 99 miles an hour. A lot of the extra distance you can get in Cincinnati. There's a couple of nicknames of this ballpark circling around Major League Baseball. If it's warm like it is today, the ball tends to travel just a little bit more.
And Cincinnati, strangely enough, as a team, not hitting a lot of home runs this year. They have the second fewest in the big leagues. Just the 44th of the season for the Reds. Found other ways to do it this year.
Well, to your point, Alex, there's run differential. And you hear teams with positive run differential, they're usually a very good team. Tampa leads baseball with their run differential. There's also a home run differential. It's another good indicator. The Reds are minus 26 on the season. That's how much they've been out homered by.
And that's why it'll be fascinating to see this series this weekend. Milwaukee at 29-27, Cincinnati 26-30. Just 3 games back of the Brewers, and Tellez going to pick that up off the dirt.
Thanks, buddy.
And a year ago, Milwaukee just owned Cincinnati. And they had their number.
Two balls and a strike to Tyler Stevenson. And he's fooled by the off-speed pitch. And Milwaukee took 13 of 19 against the Reds last year. They hit 44 home runs, the Brewers, off Cincinnati pitching in the season series. That's the most against any opponent in a single season in Brewers franchise history. Stevenson checks his swing. So Fraley will have a head start.
Awfully close. Stevenson very strong. So what we were mentioning earlier, Burns with 2 strikes just has not been able to put hitters away efficiently.
Fraley will take off on this payoff pitch. There he goes.
Ball 4.
Out. 2-out walk for Stevenson. And the inning continues. And Burns has now issued 3 walks in this game.
Chris Hook, the Brewers pitching coach, coming out, seeing if he could settle down Corbin Burns. Had it down to 2 outs. He just struck out Matt McLean, and then a first pitch cut fastball. India with the 2-run shot, the base hit from Fraley. And Stevenson with 2 strikes ends up working a walk. It's a 3rd walk for Corbin Burns. That's, again, this is one of the league's elite strike throwers, Corbin Burns, and he's 50-50.
Twenty-one pitches this inning. And some stressful ones in there. Can Nick Senzel do something here as this 2-out rally continues for the Reds? Season high in walks is 4 for Burns. He already has 3 this evening. Ball 1 to Senzel. Well, Caratini tried. Got one there. That got at least most of the thigh. Yank that one.
Give you an idea of where Corbin is today with the cut fastball. It's a pitch that he's normally pounding strikes with it. He's throwing it for a strike today less than 40% of the time.
Well, last week's Philly, I mean, cut was brilliant against the Giants.
He had 8 strikeouts against the Giants, 3 walks, but Corbin is just fighting command with the cut fastball. There's so much late movement.
Count runs full on Senzel.
It's just strange to see Corbin fighting his command so much right now.
Third full count. Runners go. Senzel strikes out. And Burns retires the side, but not before the Reds have taken the lead. Jonathan India, the heart and soul of this team, with his 6th homer of the season. It's 3-2 Cincinnati. TV Plus is presented by Chevrolet, official vehicle of Major League Baseball. Top 4 in Cincinnati. Brandon Williamson has some run support. Owen Miller and the Brewers now trailing. Yelich leads things off for the Brew Crew. Jonathan India. It's been kind of the center of attention this week, hasn't he? Yelich with a ground ball single to lead off the 4th.
There's a lot of excitement for Reds fans with the prospect of Elly De La Cruz coming to the major leagues and asking questions about the infield. There's a lot of good infielders. India's one of them. But with Steer, McLean, De La Cruz, Senzel, who's been filling in at third base, he can also play the outfield. TJ Friedel. There's a lot of young prospects. How do you make it work?
Trisha, you have more on the crowded infield for the Reds?
Yeah, you guys, that's a really great question. How do you make it work? Jonathan India was asked about that on Saturday, and he spoke to the media about that infield competition. He said, listen, it's a part of the game. There are always guys behind you, always. And he said, if I just play well, it won't matter. That's all I can do. Play my best and make the decision. Very tough for them, guys.
Well, they will likely have to make some kind of decision in the next little while. 0-2 here to Brian Anderson, and he's down on strikes. Elly De La Cruz is tearing up AAA, and it is part of an infield glut. I mean, they have a ton of really good prospects coming up.
Well, that's the beauty of it too. Is in the case of Elly, he's going to be a stud. He's going to be a star. It might be in his own time. Might not be immediate.
Stereo here for the Brewers.
There's a lot of discussion around Cincinnati this week about, is this the week that you see De La Cruz? And there's a possibility. There's a possibility you could see him in the next couple weeks. I mean, you could see him maybe even this weekend. Who knows? That's a decision. Nick Kroll, their front office.
And a walk-off home run this week. He is now named, De La Cruz is the number 4 prospect in all of baseball. So a lot of folks in Cincinnati are eagerly awaiting. He gets his chance at the big league level as they throw over to check on Yelich. Williamson with a leadoff base runner from the 3rd inning and 4.
You just got to find ways to get outs. But going back to this Reds prospect, here we go.
Could be a double play ball. Oh, and this is thrown away, dribbling all the way near the tarp. Matt McLean, who has been near perfect since being called up. That's the first mistake from the rookie.
This is a strange one. It's a lot of English, the exchange, and he just does not spend enough time to make a solid throw. Would have had an easy throw to second base, which it was. This is a group defensively for Cincinnati. They've been playing good defense. .988 fielding percentage, 8th in Major League Baseball.
Gotcha.
Ball stays nearby for Luke Maley. That's the first career error for Matt McLean. And again, this is only a couple of weeks sample size, but it's got by Luke Maley and got some help from the umpire. So a situation here, runners at second and third, and one away. Maley makes the block that time. And with Joey Weimer at the plate, who homered to give the Brewers their 2 runs. Time is called. Joey Weimer is wearing a mic for us tonight. Perfect timing with him at the plate.
It all works somehow, Yelly. Come on now. Give me that cheese. Come on now. Come on now.
Like you said, Spilly, give me that cheese.
Give me that cheese.
Weimer, one of the top prospects for Milwaukee the last couple of years. On a moment to be back in Cincinnati, the Ohio native. 24 years of age from Sylvania, Ohio.
I love that. He played for the Bearcats. And a monster homer against the Reds.
Ball. 3-1.
Mic'd up on a Friday night. You have Yelich talking trash. Give me the cheese.
Open base. Let's see if they throw him something here.
Then you go back to the changeup.
Ball in the dirt. They'll put Weimer on to load the bases.
You never want to walk anybody, but this was one where you have somebody that could possibly expand. Throw your changeup. You're still set up in a double play scenario. Victor Caratini is not quick. So have a double play scenario.
In the last 10 times the Brewers have had the bases loaded, they have not been able to scratch anything across. They will here. And meanwhile, off the mound, Brandon Williamson stumbling.
He's ducking. First chance to see Kevin Newman at first base make a play. So he fielded it, was considering throwing it across the infield, which forced Williamson to duck. Caratini slips. There you see Williamson's covering everything.
So Newman records the out. Yelich scores. The game is tied. Caratini gets his job done. There's the number 9 man, Brasso. Tell you what, though, for a team in Milwaukee that hasn't been swinging the bat all that well, this is exactly the type of production they need. Find a way to scratch across the run. You saw that mark with the bases loaded, how much they've struggled.
A 2-out base hit right here would be huge.
Back from Brasso.
All right, so Kevin Newman, first day at first base in his career, maybe a chance. There's no out to record at third, and I don't think he'd be able to get Christian Yelich at home. So good decision making from Newman. Naturally a shortstop.
And a strikeout for Williamson to end the inning as he gets Brasso to chase. But the Brewers have tied the game, scratching across a run in the fourth. Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV Plus, presented by Chevrolet. Alex Faust, Ryan Spielberg, Tricia Whitaker here with you. Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, the first of our doubleheader tonight. Tie game, 3-3, as Corbin Burns goes back to work. Seven, 8, and 9 due up for Cincinnati. Bottom four.
Well, Corbin Burns has 4 strikeouts today, but we've been pointing out the cut fastball. He's fighting it. He averages about 67% of the time he throws it for a strike, and so far tonight, it's well below that. It's at 54%. So there's a reason why he has 3 walks tonight. There's a good visual of why it is what it is. He just has to understand where to start it. It's more of an optical spot of where to pitch it, and there he goes. There's good cut fastball, gets another strikeout. It's number 5.
I mentioned last week against the Giants, so take another look at the strikeout. Season high 110 pitches, threw 61 cutters out of those. 32 swings, 17 whiffs. Not nearly on that pace tonight. So a strikeout for Fairchild. Will Benson now for the Reds. Infield shaded to pull. 1-2.
Now as shadows continue to be a factor for hitters, it's really difficult, especially if you have somebody slightly in the sun into the shade. The reason why is for hitters you can pick up spin, and you're oftentimes looking for a release point. When you go from bright to darkness, it takes that your eye just a tick to try to recognize and read, and that's oftentimes why you'll hear hitters talk about, hey, the shadows are they're hard for me to see. I'm not picking up the baseball. I don't see spin. Even for catchers. You see ball and light, and then it goes immediately to dark. Really hard for hitters to see that.
And it goes 5-hole on Caratini. Payoff pitch, ball 4.
That's up.
And Benson with a 1-out walk. It looked like it caught the top of the zone. Let's take a look.
It's not just for hitters, catchers. It's difficult for umpires as well. It's a 4th walk now for Corbin Burns. That ties his season high. Did that earlier in the month in May against Kansas City.
2 out of the 3 prior walk came around to score. Luke Maley at the plate here. There goes the runner. Pitch outside. Throw to second. Flag down by Miller. Tried to swipe a tag, but Benson is in there. And that's Benson's first stolen base this season.
The Reds are going to take advantage of Corbin Burns. Said this earlier. He's not quick to the plate. Doesn't give Caratini much to work with. Caratini already below league average with his pop time to second.
Actually, Benson's first career stolen base at the major league level. Cincinnati plenty aggressive on the base paths. 6th in the league in attempted steals. Pop fly back this way into the upper deck.
Amazing part about this season is start to dig into numbers around the league, and Tricia gets to see it with Tampa. Tampa leads Major League Baseball in homers. They also lead Major League Baseball in stolen bases.
I was looking at that number. It's ridiculous. They're lapping the field almost. Another full count here. Bailey, who walked his first time. Payoff pitch popped up. Right side to Liz. Locates and makes the catch for the second out. Time now for our weekly Siri trivia question. Just ask Siri, how many consecutive games did Lou Gehrig play? And the answer in short order is Lou Gehrig Day across baseball, as we remember his legacy and all those lost to the disease that bears his name. We raise awareness funds for ALS research, and we celebrate groups and individuals who have led the pursuit for cures. A chance to chat with John Driscoll Hopkins earlier today, the Zach Brown Band. They'll be performing a concert post-game.
Yeah.
Proceeds from every ticket sold in this game going to Hop on a Cure Foundation. Newman, the leadoff man, as Burns steps off. Burns staring. Second for a long while, looking at Benson. This is lifted to right, slicing towards the line. Anderson coming over, makes the catch on the run. And the Reds strand a base runner. 4 innings complete in the Queen City, tied 3 apiece. Is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Iron Horse. And I think it was perfect how Tricia put it in our open, that speech at Yankee Stadium. One of the most iconic, not just in baseball or sports history, but in American history. Rowdy Tellez leads things off for the Brewers. Bounces one back to the mound. Williamson off the mound to field. 1 away. The answer to our Siri trivia question. How many consecutive games did Lou Gehrig play? The answer, Lou Gehrig played 2,130 consecutive games, a record that stood for 56 years until Cal Ripken Jr. broke it in 1995.
I remember when Ripken broke that record, and I just didn't understand at the time exactly what Lou Gehrig, what he meant to the history. I didn't understand ALS. I didn't understand a lot. And so watching Cal and you know, the Iron Man that Cal Ripken ended up becoming, and then you realize when you go through the history books and understand, like Lou Gehrig at age 36 when he was diagnosed, it would be the equivalent of one of the best players in our sport, and Albert Pujols, and with years and years of left to go. I mean, 2 years prior for Lou Gehrig, he was the MVP, and just like that, somebody who is one of the best hitters we've seen in Yankees franchise history, one of the great Yankees, one of the all-timers, done. And I used to think about the speech that he gave. And I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of this earth, and I didn't understand the gravity of what that meant until I got older. And you know, as you get older and you see this disease and you see other players and people that have been impacted by it, you know, the career of Lou Gehrig means much more to the sport than just the numbers.
It's a poignant day. Miller with a strikeout. You put this into context, Billy. I think you put it perfectly. Just an icon in his time before what happened.
He's just shy of 500 career home runs. I mean, if you're just going to put him his stats, you could still measure Lou Gehrig's stats against virtually anybody, and he was better.
Contreras on the ground, backhanded stop Senzel down to one knee, and a long throw to get the out. Nice defensive play from Nick Senzel on a 1-2-3 fifth, the first time the Brewers have been retired in order this evening. Still tied in Cincinnati.
Well, the Cincinnati Reds are very excited about what Matt McLain is capable of doing, a former first rounder out of UCLA. I saw him 2 weeks ago. He reminds me of Ian Kinsler. And just how close are they? Well, they're close in age. They're also close in size and stature. And some of the numbers that they put up at the college ranks brings to mind Ian Kinsler. Now, Kinsler was an elite second baseman defensively. He had the ability to hit for average, hit for power, and he could also steal some bases. Stole 243 career bases. Spent a little time with Pat Murphy today, who is the longtime bench coach for Craig Counsell. Also was a coach at Arizona State, where Murphy's son played with McLean's brother.
McLean, a fly ball and a shallow right coming on Anderson. And he makes the catch.
So I told Murphy, I said, I think McLean and Kinsler are very similar. And I'll show you why. The setup, both start with an open stance, both very quick to get their foot down. Rudy Jaramillo really trained Ian Kinsler's swing, and then the finish of both guys, again, very similar. I watched him make his major league debut, saw him get his very first hit. Now, Murphy said, Spilly, it's not Kinsler. I was like, well, who is McLean then? He goes, possibly Chuck Knobloch. I said, all right. A little bit different in stance. There you go. You get a chance to see the short stride, very quick to the baseball. And in the case of Chuck Knobloch, didn't hit for as much power as Ian Kinsler did, but 407 stolen bases.
Behind the bag at third, that's a fair ball, long throw to get India. And Brasso with a nice play.
Good looking play for Brasso down the third baseline. You use your back foot to create some force so you can use your arm strength. Sometimes a hot corner has some nuanced plays.
Here's Jake Fraley. Corbin Burns has retired 4 in a row for the first time this evening. Fraley's been another nice add for the Reds offensively. Average at 245. May not entirely show it.
You can hear Jake Fraley talking to Victor Caratini saying it's hard to see right now.
Don't blame him.
That's off.
Fraley struggled on the recent road trip for Cincinnati, just 2 for 18. What was otherwise a pretty stout offensive performance for the Reds. He's reached twice this evening. 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Strikeout number 6 for Corbin Burns, and he's through 5 in a tie game. '23 Scott's MLB All-Star Ballot is now open. Scan the QR code right now or visit MLB.com/vote to vote daily and decide who represents your favorite team this summer. And you can suit up this season at MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of authentic caps, t-shirts, collectibles, and more. Gear up at MLBshop.com. Brandon Williamson threw 5 innings, and we talked about earlier, much like first couple starts, he's gotten better as the game has gone along. Retired the Brewers in order in the 5th.
It was important for Cincinnati to get some length from Williamson. Nick Lodolo, who him and Williamson played together at TCU. They're very close. Williamson filling in for Lodolo.
Yelich fly ball. Foul.
The last inning for Williamson was a 9-pitch inning. So he's had 2 9-pitch innings.
Yelich fouls this one back. Looping breaking ball at 73.
Again, you have to take advantage of some of the difficulties for hitters, whether it's the batter's eye being bright, the shadows, 5 o'clock start time. This ballpark plays a little different.
Yelich down on strikes. That's the 6th K for Williamson, who has won, or the Reds have won, every game where he's started, though he has yet to record a decision.
That's a changeup. Nice pronation. Get that late movement. Hard to see. Tell for Christian Yelich. Missed that by about a foot.
Bring up Brian Anderson.
Well, 5 2/3 is the longest in Williamson's career. He did that in Colorado on his debut.
Sky high pop up. Right field, Fraley. 2 away. 7 straight retired by Williamson. It is match day 17 tomorrow on MLS Season Pass. For Reds fans, FC Cincinnati, their brilliant new stadium hosts the Chicago Fire. Coverage begins at 6:55 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on the Apple TV app. We're talking about the debut for Williamson back on May 17th in Colorado. It's tough to do. Go into the altitude.
What's up?
Make your major league debut. We went 5 2/3, just 2 hits, 1 earned run.
No, I watched it. Pleasure of watching a lot of teams coming through Colorado.
On a stereo 0 for 2 today.
Also get a chance to ask hitters' reaction after facing somebody for the first time.
Let's go.
And they all raved about Williamson's ability to throw changeup. Changeup works at altitude. Throw a little cut fastball in under the righty's hands, which works. That plays. He's got a good sense for pitching. Learned it at TCU. If he gets a strikeout, it'll be a career high. If he gets an out, it's a career high.
Looking for another 1, 2, 3 inning, and it's bounced foul. Williamson, the third-ranked pitching prospect for the Reds coming into the season, called up May 16th. Count runs full.
It was Jesse Winker who's part of the trade that sent Williamson from Seattle to Cincinnati, and today Jesse was back for the first time in Cincinnati in a Brewers uniform.
Hard hit ball from Monasterio, but it stays up there and will clip the top of the wall. That'll be a 2-out double for Andrew Monasterio, 26-year-old rookie from Venezuela. 9 seasons in the minor leagues, and Jonathan India looked like he was clipped with the spikes of Monasterio.
Hey, look at his pants.
Wow.
That ripped his pants. Monasterio is a lifetime minor leaguer and has been swinging the bat so well from Milwaukee. The trainers are going to come out and take a look at Jonathan India.
Well, talk about going spikes high.
Ends up hitting right off the top of the wall. Will Benson plays it just right. And watch, he goes sliding in, and the way the bat kicks his leg up, it's metal spike right into the calf of Jonathan India. There's no malintent here.
India wants to stay in the game, and he will. He's a gamer. His beautiful new City Connect uniform. We'll have to find another pair of pants for him.
Digging the piping.
Well, Derek Johnson, pitching coach for the Reds, go out to have a conversation. 79 pitches for the rookie Williamson. A career high for him is 84.
The Reds had to use quite a few relievers this week in Boston. And so when you add that to a late flight, Red Sox and the Reds, they played last night, East Coast game.
That's a quick turnaround, man, from a night game, traveling, and then a 5 o'clock start today.
Very, very quick, which is why I'm trying to get Williamson a couple more outs. I mean, you're already ecstatic with what you got. You're hoping for 15 outs. You got 15 outs here. Now you're getting greedy. You're at 17.
There's Weimer. I would have to imagine the conversation is about how to face this man who homered in the second and walked in the fourth.
Ball's up.
Weimer, chopper to third. Coming in to Senzel, the fire across. And the Brewers strand a runner. The rookie Brandon Williamson has gotten 6 innings for the Reds today. On Apple TV Plus, presented by Chevrolet. Alex Faust, Ryan Spielbergs, Trisha Whitaker here with you on a hot Friday evening in Cincinnati. Got a 2-for-1 here with the ball game and a ticket for the concert after with Zach Brown Band. Benefiting Hop and Cure on this Lou Gehrig Day. Stevenson, Senzel, Fairchild. 5, 6, and 7 for the Reds, due up in the 6th. Still it is Corbin Burns. Both pitchers have settled in as this game has gone along, Spiller.
This game had some feels of possibly being a pitcher's duel, and then it swung to possibly being a hitter's carousel. And Corbin, despite the walk numbers, he still finds ways to get outs.
Off.
87 pitches now for Corbin Burns. And 4 walks, a season high, 6 strikeouts. These guys are matching up.
Ball's down.
They haven't been big misses for Corbin. It's right around the edge. This one cut fastball again. There's so much movement on his cutter.
Got the call there.
You can hear DJ Rayburn. Yeah, that's just the edge. Okay. See, he throws it right back to the edge, and you see how Tyler Stevenson fires at it. Gives you a sense of how fine-tuned both pitchers and hitters can be. Talking inches. They know they can see it. They recognize out of the hand.
Payoff to Stevenson. There's a line drive right at Monasterio. He's had himself a nice game. Hit the double in the top half of the inning. And he's just filling in really spot duty with the injured Willie Adames.
He is playing well. You're right. And offensively, he's putting up some numbers in his opportunity. Defensively, it's a knuckleball right at him. Sticks with it. Outs and outs and out.
Senzel now.
He's like, I almost lost that.
Don't blame him. Called up just days shy of his 26th birthday. But it's quite the journey, for players that are signed internationally as free agents. Spent time in the minor league organizations for the Cubs, Cleveland. 9 seasons in the minor leagues grinding. And days before your 26th birthday, you get a shot. He still has a long career ahead of him at that rate.
At 26, you're just scratching the surface. You never know. I mean, we saw Whit Merrifield. He didn't get a real chance to play until he was 28 years old with Kansas City.
Ball. Thin.
Starting to think Caratini's getting a little frustrated back there.
And it's not just him. It's reaction from Corbin Burns. He wants that changeup. It's well received, well presented.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Senzel down on strikes. The 7th strikeout for Burns this evening.
This goes back to, for Corbin Burns, notice location. This is center of the plate, but because of the late movement, the velocity, I think gives you an idea. You can be with Corbin Burns' cut fastball, you can be aggressive in the strike zone.
He's had to fight for it today. 6th time this year with 3 or more walks in a game for Burns. Here as he faces Stuart Fairchild, who's 0 for 2.
Ball's down. Down.
Told you it wasn't Caratini, it's Corbin. He's starting to get frustrated. It's right at the knee hollow.
Do umpires get frustrated with catchers who try to frame the ball that aggressively? You think?
Oh, they don't. Umpires have their strike zone. These are the best umpires in the world.
the hands from Fairchild. Little blue. Burns slides to make the catch.
No, that's down. They're down. No, they're down.
Now he spikes the ball in frustration.
He might get yanked out if he keeps popping off at DJ.
Not happy with the balls and strikes behind the plate from the home plate umpire. Takes out some frustration on the turf in Cincinnati.
A little bit of a frustrating evening on a Friday night. A couple questionable pitches didn't go his way. Letting DJ Rayburn know he didn't think some of those pitches were down.
And he, well, you're still hearing some chirping from the.
He's gone fine.
Yes.
Here we go. Here comes Corbin. He's going to get his money's worth. Or not.
He had been barking the entire commercial break at DJ Rayburn from the Milwaukee dugout.
Threw 100 pitches, 59 of those for strikes.
That's that for Corbin Burns.
He's already done. It looks like his night's over.
It's also backing up his catcher at the plate here, Victor Caratini. If your night's done, you might as well get your money's worth.
You just start getting warmed up for the Zach Brown Band concert.
Caratini on the ground to short. McLean on away.
Well, that's the thing too, Alex. For a lot of these, I mean, there's so much emotion, competition. Every game matters to players, and they. You know, when you're talking about you wait 5 days to get your start and you're uber competitive and you don't walk people, you have 4 walks on the afternoon, and I take exception.
On away in the 7th. This is only the 2nd time as a pro Brandon Williamson has pitched in the 7th inning here as he faces Brasso, the number 9 man. And he hits him.
Hits him on the bounce.
That was odd.
And you're not going to see too many of these. This leadoff hitter for Williamson, he spiked a fastball and Darren Ruff. And he goes, he throws possibly a changeup in, and it pops up and he catches Brasso right on the side. Those will hurt. Those sting. And he does an old Dorn.
Pinch runner. And have Bryce Turing come off the bench for the Brewers. So the 23-year-old rookie will come off the bench as Rowdy Tellez digs in. The lineup turning over. And Tellez, if you're just joining us, didn't start the game. Darren Ruff, an awkward collision trying to go after a foul ball as Tellez ducks out of the way. Collided with the tarp. The right field side. Wound up having his knee lacerated. Came out of the game. Tellez entered as a defensive replacement. There's another look back in the 3rd. Tricia, you have an update?
Yeah, guys, they say that it is a right knee laceration for Darren Huff, who left the game, as you mentioned, Alex, in the 3rd after slamming his knee into that tarp padding along that first base line pretty hard, chasing a foul pop-up.
He was limping down the stairs on his way to the visiting clubhouse.
And it took away moves on both sides because Williamson, if he was facing Darren Ruff for the 4th time, you would see David Bell go to his bullpen. And if you're Craig Counsell, he would go to Rowdy Tellez.
Tellez with a high fly ball to right. Fraley drifting back and in front of the track. He makes the catch.
Yeah, David Bell saw the same thing. It just seems like Williamson ran out of gas at the end. He's gutted his way through it. Longest start of his career. He should get a lot of high fives. That's probably more than David Bell was expecting from his young left-hander.
6 2/3 for the rookie, and he departs with a runner aboard. Brandon Williamson did his part and then some.
Amazing night for him. We saw him make a major league debut 2 weeks ago in Colorado, went 5 2/3, and tonight 6 2/3 when this Reds bullpen needed him.
The longest outing for him since high A ball 2 years ago. Buck Farmer comes out of the Cincinnati bullpen with a runner at first, and he delivers a strike to Owen Miller here. As you take a look at Farmer's numbers, he's pitched 7 consecutive scoreless innings.
Yeah, 25th appearance on the season, had a save in Boston, first one of the season for him, 3rd career save. The Cincinnati Reds bullpen, they've been asked by David Bell to pick up a lot of innings, 2nd in the National League in innings pitched, and they also lead baseball with wins from the relief corps.
Miller 1 for 3 tonight, and he chases a pitch well out of the zone.
Give me an idea of just how used this bullpen has been in the last couple days. You won't see Kevin Herget tonight, but some of the guys, Alexis Diaz should be available if necessary. Alex Young has been a high leverage reliever for them along with Buck Farmer.
Tell you what, I know that they've used their bullpen decent amount lately, but it's a lot less than they did at the beginning of the season. They couldn't get their starters through 5 at all. There goes the runner. Throw down, skips in the dirt off the glove of India and into center field, but after the stolen base, Turang stays put.
8th stolen base of the season for Turang. Christian Yelich leads the Brewers. Really nice jump. There's India, heads up baseball, so he holds the tag on Turang. Turang has no idea where the baseball is at that moment. The ball's going into the outfield.
Oh. Miller offers a pitch that was coming right at him.
Change up, running in. I mean, that would have sawed off his bat or sawed off his elbow.
Farmer's 1-2 in the dirt. Starting to say those, Spilly, that at least they've gotten a little bit better help the Reds have from their starting pitching. Last 8 games, 7 of their 8 starters went 5+. I know 5+ not saying much. The only one who didn't over that stretch was Williamson. He certainly gave them length tonight. He got 6 innings of no-hit ball from Hunter Green last Friday, part of a sweep against the Cubs. Miller lifts one to deep right, tracking back Fraley, and he reels it in to end the inning. Through 6 1/2, tied at 3 in Cincinnati.
Make room 'cause we moving in, yeah. This time I came with friends, yeah. With my team we aim to win, yeah. Right now the show begins. Time to go. It's time to go right now. Get ready.
That's been a fun game on this Lou Gehrig day. Part of our doubleheader here. Friday Night Baseball. New pitcher in for the Brewers. It's Yoel Payamps, as he faces 8, 9, and 1 for the Reds. Will Benson at the plate. Walked and stole bases last time up.
Interesting line for Corbin Burns when it's all said and done. 3 earned runs on 2 hits. The 4 walks ties a season high. And then the 7 punch outs. He gets a quick strikeout of Benson. So Payamps comes in.
Well, don't forget the ejection for Burns at the end there, too.
Oh, yeah. I have to write that in.
Defensive changes for the Brewers. So Owen Miller moves from second to third. Turang stays in the game, goes to short. And Monasterio goes from short to second. Here's Maley. Ball and a strike to the Reds catcher.
Joel's not a comfortable at bat for right-handed hitters. At least it seems when you're seeing him stand in there. He's listed at 6'2". He throws from a different arm slot. Righties are hitting 274. Lefties 189.
Three-team trade involving Sean Murphy. Payamps. Two balls and 2 strikes to Maley, who's down on strikes.
That is an aggressive fastball up. You'll hear sometimes a hitter gets his doors blown off. Well, that's what it looks like. And this ball is good foot already past Maley. That ball was in Covington when the game is in Cincinnati.
Just across the river.
Well, that's because that's where Luke's from.
Oh. Newman, the leadoff man. Newman 0 for 3. 3 flyouts. Be interested to see over the long haul what the Reds do with the leadoff position, whether India goes back there or whether, as all these kids keep coming up, they continue to shuffle things around, find a combination. They love India's production, especially driving in runs.
I think I like him batting third. You just want to get TJ Friedel back. Friedel's your ideal leadoff hitter if you're Cincinnati.
2-2. Pitch clock violation. So a ball charged to Payamps.
What's going on?
And there's going to be an argument here from Craig Counsell.
I called a pitch violation because he stepped off with about 3 seconds left. Didn't have enough time to come back and throw.
So what's the count then?
2-2. Yeah, that's too fast.
Did you hear that? That's just too fast. So you try to re-engage.
He misses low and away. The count runs full. No argument from Greg Counsell. flown away, ball 4. A 2-out walk for Newman.
That's where the violation had to play in this at bat. Led to a walk. It would have been 3 balls.
McLean coming to the plate, walking up to Still Dre. Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg.
Tell me you're from Southern California.
Music was still going on. I'm sure
Tell me you're from Southern California.
Yes. See, McLean's from Orange. Snoop is Long Beach, though.
Long Beach, yeah, Compton area. He went to, he's actually a basketball player, USC, I believe. He played basketball. Snoop Dogg did.
I've shared a booth with Snoop a couple times.
Snoop-a-loop.
McLean, who played his college ball at UCLA. A quick climber up the ladder. David Bell was so confident in how McLean was seeing the ball in AAA. He put him in the number 2 slot in the order right away. Reaches out to lift this one to right. Anderson underneath it, and the side is retired. Brewers and Reds tied at 3 as we head to the 8th. TV Plus is presented by Chevrolet, official vehicle of Major League Baseball. And sponsored in part by Oris Watches, makers of only mechanical watches since 1904. Oris, go your own way. Alex Faust, Brian Spielbergs, Trisha Whitaker here with you in Cincinnati. NL Central division game. First place Brewers, just 3 games up on the Reds, scuffling. The Reds, who have won 5 of 6 coming in. New pitcher for them is Lucas Sims, their usual setup man.
Yeah, Sims has been in a good spot. He's striking out almost 30% of the batters he faces. It's fastball, slider. Right-handers are hitting 100 off of him. Hopefully that's not the broadcaster's jinx if you're a Reds fan.
5 holds and 6 save situations for Sims, and a pop fly in the infield. Newman on away. In honor of Sarah Langs and all those in the fight against ALS, these stars are on display this Lou Gehrig Day to serve as a beacon of hope and unity. You can get your Langs star at starsforsarah.org. Proceeds from each star purchased will benefit Project ALS. We have one up here in the booth with us as well. It's been a poignant day. There are so many powerful stories of how ALS has impacted so many.
Yeah, and I witnessed it firsthand with the major leaguer with the Colorado Rockies, Sam Hilliard. I'm rocking the Team Hilliard t-shirt today. You think about certain athletes, we talk about Lou Gehrig, and in the case of Sam Hilliard, who plays for the Atlanta Braves, his father, Jim Hilliard, was a longtime player at the University of Texas for playing football, was an amazing doctor, and lost his life to the battle of ALS. And we saw Sam hit a home run the day after his dad passed away. And then as he's heading out to the outfield, you can sense his reflection of knowing that he wasn't going to get a text message or being able to speak to a loved one. And so knowing what we've seen in Major League Baseball, from Stephen Piscotty to Sarah Langs, and to our friends that are either fighting to find a cure for ALS or that have seen a family member lose their battle. This is a very tragic, insidious disease, as mentioned. Here gives you an idea of Sam Hilliard, who was in Washington, hits his home run September 17, 2021, and there he is reflecting.
Two down in the inning. Here's Brian Anderson. 2 balls and a strike from Sims. Jonathan India due up in the bottom half of the 8th. He'll lead it off. Part of the order coming up for the Reds as Anderson pops one up right side, slicing towards the seats. Does it stay in play? No. Fraley gave it a look. Milwaukee with 2 in the second, 1 in the 4th. Cincinnati with 1 in the second, 2 in the 3rd. Stalemate since as we work the top half of the 8th.
This is why this inning's so important for David Bell. For the Reds, you get Sims clean inning, get to the middle of the lineup. If you're Cincinnati, push one across, and then you pass it to arguably the best reliever in baseball, Diaz, who's coming.
Well, Sims does his part, a 1-2-3-8th, and the heart of the order 2 up for the Reds in the bottom half with Jonathan India to lead it off. When we come back, a 3-3 game. India with a 2-run homer back in the second gave the Reds the lead at the time. Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV Plus, presented by Chevrolet. And the first pitch for Peter Strzelecki right into the game plunks Jonathan India. Leadoff man is on for the Reds in the 8th. I was just about to say, both teams kind of going to script with the way they would set up their pitchers in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. This is a division game, and Milwaukee with a tenuous lead atop the division. India's aboard. Here's Jake Fraley.
That's an ideal start for Cincinnati. Leadoff base runner on. Jonathan India has 8 stolen bases on the year. 27th appearance for Strzelecki. And this is up top.
3 well out of the strike zone. For whatever reason, Peter's numbers on the road not great.
He still has the same strikeout to walk ratio. Relievers, they might have had one hiccup, one bat in a small sample size, an inning that got away from you.
One you would have seen in Colorado, Spilly. They gave up 5 earned runs.
His last 2 outings for Strzelecki's earned a hold. Very efficient with his pitches.
Check on India.
Yeah, India's going to go. You want to, with a left-handed hitter and Jake Fraley, you want to leave the right side of the infield open, but eventually you're going to take a shot.
There he goes. Pitch a strike, throw to second. India's in there. Third stolen base for the Reds tonight.
Now we're going to take advantage of Caratini behind the plate. They're waiting to see if they're going to check. Notice the walking lead for India. Good job. Got in. I thought he might have bounced. This is why you keep the tag on if you're Bryce Terang, which he does.
So the go-ahead run in scoring position for the Reds. And a full count to Fraley. Payoff from Strzelecki, swung on and missed, strike 3. An important strikeout for Strzelecki. 1 down to the 8th.
And Fraley just trying to get the ball on the right side some way, somehow. So trying to release the barrel to pull it. He ends up swinging straight through it.
Have a conference on the mound here. I think this juncture right here is fascinating to me with the Reds and where they're at as a team. 4 games under 500. David Bell told us specifically part of their success, especially over the last month, was not trying to do too much in big situations. Young team still trying to figure things out. They're only 3 games back of the Brewers coming in. Big crowd on hand here tonight with the concert after the game. Can they stick to that? And for the Brewers, just trying to find any way at this rate, especially against the division opponent. It was about a month ago that hitting coaches for Cincinnati called a meeting. The Reds had just been swept by the Pirates, limited to 6 runs in a 4-game span. Since then, they have the 3rd best batting average in the National League. Talking about that approach. Here's Tyler Stevenson.
And Stevenson has not had big moments for the Reds offensively this season. .222 batting average with runners in scoring position. This is a big at bat for him.
Ball 2.
Stevenson was never a big power threat. His career high in homers at the major league level is 10, but a season ago hit .319.
In fact, he was the only hitter on this team, Spilly, last year to hit over 300. Didn't qualify with all the time missed due to injury for any sort of leaderboard. Got an injury-plagued season last year. A home plate collision in April, put him on the concussion list, then a broken thumb in June, broken clavicle in July. Both on foul balls as a catcher. Two balls and a strike. 2-2.
Now you're really starting to add the drama for Tyler. 148 batting average with 2 strikes. So he is up against it. Another beach ball on the field.
What is this, Omaha?
It's worse than a disengagement for pitchers. You can't have beach balls. Violation on Reds fans. You see the beach ball person down the line kind of pointing at the fans.
Count runs full.
And it doesn't have cleats, so that's not going to work. Whoa! Uses someone's car key.
Strzelecki's payoff, swung on and missed, strike 3. Another big strikeout. 2 down.
Now 10 strikeouts for the Brewers. He just ties up Tyler Stevenson up and in. 6'4" frame.
Senzel with 2 away, pops up the first pitch. Stereo all the way across in front of Tellez. Makes the catch, and the Reds strand the leadoff man. We head to the 9th, still tied.
Presented by Sage. Peter Strzelecki probably with the game on the line in a sense when you consider Tyler Stevenson struggling, trying to find a way to get somebody in with runners in scoring position. Takes that pitch in, check swing, called strike. Get to the 3-2 count. Strzelecki wanted to go up and in. He gets it, he wins it, he bangs on his head, he's smart from it. And now we're here with one of the league's best relievers, Alexis Diaz.
And a save situation, though, he has converted all 13 of those he's had an opportunity for this year. Saved 3 of the Reds' last 4 wins. Didn't allow a run in any of his last 6 appearances. Of course, he and his brother Edwin, 2 of the elite relievers in the game. First 2 out of the strike zone to Monasterio, and he fouls the 2-0 back.
There's so many interesting numbers about Diaz. His extension, it's elite. It's the best in baseball from a reliever. Nobody throws the ball closer to home plate. The Diaz is nearly a 50% strikeout percentage.
Tried to paint the corner there. Didn't get the call. Popped up. Behind home plate, Maley tosses the mask away and runs out of room.
StatCast is powered by Google Cloud. We'll give you an example of just how rare Diaz is. Not only does he have elite spin rate, fastball sits right around 95 miles an hour. Here's the extension, 7.8 feet of extension. That is the highest in Major League Baseball. The average is 6.5 feet. Diaz is listed at 6'2", so that gives you another idea of how far he's releasing the baseball.
A walk to Monasterio to lead off the 9th. The time that the rookie Monasterio has reached.
He gets down the mound. It's almost like he slides off of it.
I mean, he's virtually off the mound by the time he releases the ball. First pitch swinging for Joey Wiemer. He pops it up. McLean with the catch. And an unproductive out for Wiemer.
That's productive in that he made contact. But as far as trying to move a base runner up, take advantage of the leadoff walk, it's going to be very difficult to do against Diaz.
There's Caratini.
Almost have to try to steal a base.
With 3 ground outs. Monasterio takes off. The pitch popped up. And Monasterio will have to scamper back to first. Catch made by Senzel, the third baseman.
Yeah, tough decision for Caratini because such a good jump from Monasterio. He'd have this stolen easily. Caratini 1-0 count, gets a pitch he thinks he can maybe get a player in motion, defense in motion, or fire off a good swing. You don't ever want to give a closer or a closer type pitcher a free strike, but that one I think Caratini wishes he had back.
Runner goes. First pitch to Terang as he squares around, but that was too good a jump for Monasterio, who swipes the bag. His first career stolen base at the major league level. We've seen 2 of those today.
There's just nothing McMaley behind the plate could do. That's a high leg kick. Long extension, takes time.
So runner in scoring position with 2 out. For the rookie Turang. was 0 for 3 in a 3-game series on the road in Toronto. Two-out bunt. Interesting. Try to punt for a base hit there.
Yeah, Nick Senzel alone on the left side of the infield. Not sure if we were going major league.
This is fly into shallow left. Benson coming on, makes the catch. And we head to the 9th in a tie ball game. 3-3 in Cincinnati. Drama in the Queen City. Both teams have used their top relievers. 7, 8, 9 due up for the Reds. We'll see if they dip in their bench. Devin Williams, another elite reliever. What a treat to see two of the top relievers in the game as Williams comes in a tie game here in the 9th.
Yeah, a treat if you're a manager, not a treat if you're a batter. Devin Williams, this guy is unbelievable. 6'2", he's from St. Louis. Fastball changeup, one of the most devastating changeups you'll see.
Reigning Trevor Hoffman Award winner, best reliever in the National League, goes to work against Stuart Fairchild.
Amazing part, he throws first pitch changeup. He's so confident to throw that pitch at any time. It can be his wipeout pitch, he can steal strikes with it. And then his fastball is 94 to 97 miles an hour.
No, he didn't call time. He didn't call time. I called time. I called time because he got set before he got ready.
Good management by the umpire to prevent a violation. There's the fastball at 94 off the outside edge for a strike.
Yeah, Stuart Fairchild, I feel bad for him. I'm also glad I'm sitting up in the booth. Faced Corbin Burns, and now you have some Devin Williams.
Oh. And he went around.
Yeah, now he has the hat trick. Not the type of hat trick you want. So want the leadoff base runner. It's 11 strikeouts now for Milwaukee. There's no arguing this one.
Well, Benson has been a strikeout victim a couple times tonight. One swinging, one looking. Benson, bouncing ball. Miller has trouble with it. And he has no play as it dribbles away.
Be a frustrating play for Owen Miller. He's in on the grass, respecting the possibility of a bunt, and he just gets caught in between. This is one of the hardest reads for a third baseman, is that in-between hop, whether you take a step back at the drop step, go down as an E5, or if you're aggressive, running through it, just trusting your hands.
Pinch hitter here for Cincinnati, Spencer Steer, leads the team in homers, leads the team in doubles. Was just named the National League Rookie of the Month for May. Comes off the bench with a winning run aboard.
Leads rookies in extra base hits, all rookies in base hits.
He had a big go-ahead 2-run homer Wednesday. 7th inning of a 3-3 game at Fenway Park. He's reached base in 14 straight coming in. Bluff from Benson at first. Strike one to Steer. There goes Benson. Steer swings and misses. Throw to second, offline. And the winning run for the Reds in scoring position with 1 down in the 9th.
I know Caratini's he's getting picked on, but he's not benefiting from the times he's getting from his pitchers. Devin Williams, 6'2", takes a little time to unfurl his mechanics. Caratini doing everything he possibly can. Second stolen base for Benson.
Just his 15th game, Major League level this year, as Steer takes ball 2. Williams 2-2. And the count runs full. Now the Reds are feeling pretty good right now. They took 5 of 6 on a road trip, the best 6-game road trip since April of 2017. First series sweep at Wrigley since 2013. Big moment here. Payoff pitch. Popped up. Top of the infield. Monasterio makes the catch. And a big second out for Williams. And the Brewers.
Yeah, it's a big for both. Hey, Williams. Your 3-2 changeup, kind of had to feel the first base open. You can go to your best pitch. If you miss for a ball, no problem.
Bring up Kevin Newman.
Newman's always been known to be a contact hitter, and his numbers much better against righties than lefties. This guy,
yes, one more visit.
Facing Devin Williams, this is not a, you see a pitch that you can handle. You're basically at the mercy of him making a mistake, and he happened to hit it. Two hits tonight for the Reds. We saw manufacture in the second inning, then Jonathan Indio 2 outs after a leadoff walk. First pitch firing against Corbin Burns, hits a 2-run shot opposite field. That would have been a home run in only 12 ballparks. So homer here in Cincinnati tonight.
Brewers just used their final mound visit. Strike 1. Newman bouncing ball to third. Miller makes the play. And that will do it for the Reds in the 9th. We head to extra innings next. Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV Plus, presented by Chevrolet. Alex Bowser, the 7-year Major League veteran. Ryan Spilbergs, Trisha Whitaker down on the field. What a night at Great American Ballpark. The early start time, so still plenty of daylight here. And Alex Young comes out of the bullpen, the 5th pitcher for the Reds, as we reach extra innings.
So we get the automatic base runner at second base. Alex Young making his 25th appearance. As Bryce Turang made the final out. So you also have arguably the best speed on the Brewers on the base path.
Our defensive changes for the Reds, we'll get those to you in just a moment as Rowdy Tellez digs in. Half swing from Tellez, dribbling ball, foul.
Take time, Roddy. Take time.
Tellez, a defensive replacement in the third for the injured Darren Ruff. And he bounces this one foul. So in addition to the pitcher, Alex Young, you have Spencer Steer came into the game as a pinch hitter in the ninth. Will play at first. Newman moves from first to third. Senzel from third to left. And Tellez stays alive.
Well, luckily for the Reds bullpen, Thursday's game, Ian Jabot threw 8 pitches, and you had Ken Herget had to pick up in almost 30 pitches, but your other relievers, they got a full day of rest. Strike 3.
Tellez doesn't like it. There's been plenty of discontent from the Brewers dugout about balls and strikes tonight.
Just based on it, how that appeared, it looks like it's in the middle of the plate.
Yeah. Miller went around.
On the swing, on the swing. It's close. It's real close. I checked your bat. Yeah.
Too quickly to Miller, who's 1 for 4 tonight. Singled in the third. And top 5 in the majors in batting average since May 3rd. Try to, at the very least, move that runner at second. Line drive, base hit. Turang stops at third, and the Brewers have men at the corners with one away.
They get the base hit to left field, but Turang has to hold up, make sure this line drive isn't caught by Matt McLean. He gets a fastball, he just rips it to left. Yeah, this guy's swinging the bat so well. Notice how he freezes, sees it through, and that's about the best he can do. If you're William Contreras right now, you want to fly ball to the outfield. You want to keep the baseball off the ground unless it's to the right side.
Big hack from Contreras to the first pitch.
Now, believe it or not, these extra inning rules have benefited visiting teams versus home teams. Now, if you're Alex Young, you're hunting punch out of Contreras. That or pop up to the infield. Maybe use your changeup to get a ground out.
Foul tip in the glove, and Maley held on. 2 away.
Thank you.
To your points, Billy, Brewers 2-0. In extra inning games, they were the road team in both instances.
Did not hit the dirt. I know Craig Counsell wants him to check it, but he does it. Ends up being bad at bat for Contreras. 3 pitches, all changeups chasing.
I beg your pardon, Kirk Casale, the catcher, has come off the bench for the Reds. Hanging on there. Here's Christian Yelich. 2-hit night, 2 runs scored. A guy whose production and hard hit rate has climbed as the season has gone along.
That was almost a disaster for Alex Young. Overthrew the slider. That barely stayed in the webbing. That was actually a changeup, stayed in the webbing.
And Yelich will take his base. Well, the bases are loaded. And there will be a pitching change here. Fernando Cruz comes out of the bullpen for the Reds as they try to keep this game tied in the 10th. And the new pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds, Fernando Cruz, enters for Cincinnati, trying to keep this game tied. And Craig Counsell's team just wondering, can they get the big hit?
Oh, there's the 3-pitch mix for Cruz. Fastball, slider, split. It's also interesting to see decision making from David Bell. Brian Anderson has reverse splits. He hits righties better this year than lefties. He was hitting 175 against lefties. Cruz coming into a huge moment. There's no wiggle room.
Nowhere to put Anderson. Strike 1.
And you gotta understand the scenario for a young pitcher. You come in and you start off bases loaded, no wiggle room. You have to throw strikes. And you go to your first pitch slider.
They went around there. 0-2.
There you go, slider, split finger, now everybody getting on their feet. He probably wants to go back to the split.
Casale wants him over.
Challenge with the split finger, if that is your best secondary pitch, is when you get amped up and you overthrow it. It'll sit belt high, and it's a BP fastball.
Low and away. Sellout crowd, more than 44,000. Largest regular season crowd this ballpark has seen in its 20-year history. On their feet for a 1-2 pitch. Fouled away.
Good job from Brian Anderson. He sees soft. Reverse splits, not for mention, and then he gets 96 miles an hour on the black and fouls it off.
Popped up. Who wants it? Casale in foul ground, makes the catch. The Brewers leave the bases loaded. And the Reds will have a chance to walk it off in the 10th with the heart of their order coming up.
We're getting in Queen City That's a split finger with 2 strikes. You can tell Brian Anderson doing everything he can. Cruz considering maybe catching it, but pitchers are not allowed to catch infield pop-ups. He says, "This is my home. Thank you very much."
Well, the Brewers going to Elvis Peguero now. Last 2 seasons of the Angels organization, 13th appearance out of the pen this year with decent numbers for the Brewers.
6'5" right-hander from the Dominican, and you can imagine he throws hard. It's a sinker slider. He has to deal with traffic. So automatic base runner at second base. There he is.
Yep.
It's automatic.
Peguero wants to give a look to Kevin Newman.
Let's see what David Bell decides to do. If you want to drop a bunt, you just need a run, so you might sacrifice an out for a base.
Based on that look, might let McLean hit.
Well, you also see that as well. You get 3 shots from your hitters to try to just get a base hit.
2, 3, and 4 here for the Reds, with McLean, India, and Fraley. Straight back.
Elvis will throw more sliders to righties than fastball. Right-handers hitting .231 against the slider.
McLean trying to keep his 10-game hitting streak alive. This with the game at stake. For Weimer, and he'll make the catch. No chance for Newman to move.
.96-mile-an-hour sinker, 110 miles an hour off the bat. It's a lot out and no advancement.
All the talk this week. Let's take another look. By the way, the Reds now 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position tonight. Jonathan India. A big piece in The Athletic earlier in the week describing the logjam that's coming. And the Reds organization. India in an 0-2 hole. But a 2-run homer for India tonight.
And the questions surrounding that article are completely fair. You have a lot of young infield prospects just figuring out how it works out.
Ball 1. I think where Reds fans are conflicted in that. This is a player who's come up with the team in some pretty lean years. Former Rookie of the Year. Said he had to work a lot on his mental approach this offseason. After a step back from that rookie campaign. India stays alive. After that Rookie of the Year season, he thought he was going to be a power hitter, so he bulked up, he put on weight. He said it affected him in a negative way. Never mind all the attention and expectations on his shoulders.
He comes from a very athletic household. His father was a longtime bodybuilder.
2-2 pitch.
And Alex, there's times you see this crowd, you want to be the hero, and you have to control your heart rate. And very easy, you can get jumpy and fire pitches. I'm impressed by India's approach.
Payoff from Peguero. And it hit him. out today, isn't it? Bruising day today. Caught with spikes earlier in the game, inadvertently. Twice hit by a pitch.
Okay, 30 seconds, please. 30.
But in the end, doesn't matter. Winning run at second. Chris Hook with a visit. Team's getting an additional mound visit for each inning play, so Hook is going to take his time here. One down, bottom 10. Tyler Stevenson now. I beg your pardon, Jake Fraley now at the plate.
Couldn't handpick a better guy in this moment for the Reds. On the season, 365 batting average, runners in scoring position. You see somebody that 247 batting average, but they hit so well in these moments.
Center field. And slicing over towards left. The catch made by Weimer. He'll throw directly to third. And neither runner a chance to advance.
Now you go back to McLean's at bat, and considering the sacrifice bunt, if it's worth it, you get two shots with the runner at third. Maybe it's one fly ball to the outfield. Play that coulda, woulda, shoulda game.
So here is Stevenson.
Now you pointed this out, and Stevenson's last at bat, he struck out. This guy, and Stevenson, he's just been waiting to get his bat going.
Both runners take off. And no interest, seemingly, and making a throw. All the attention being paid to the batter.
My favorite things to write in the scorebook is defensive indifference.
Oh, bluff there at third from Newman as Peguero comes home. Just trying to dance and distract Elvis Peguero.
See if he can get a balk, see if he can get some sort of flinch. He'll probably do it again. I mean, having both guys steal might not make that big of a difference to you, but it could right here if you get Stevenson to swing or a ball in the dirt.
Home and strikes out Stevenson. We head to the 11th. And this tight division game still locked at 3 apiece. Presented by Chevrolet. Alex Faust, Ryan Spielbergs, Trisha Whitaker here with you. Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. Who wants this one?
I want this one. I don't know for who, I don't care, but I'm enjoying this game. I'll point out for Cruz, you expend a lot of adrenaline getting those final outs, and sometimes you get a letdown the next inning. They'll take a peek at Brian Anderson at second base.
Andrew Monasterio, we detailed his story. 26-year-old career minor leaguer brought up by the Brewers. Chance here to do some damage in what's been a really nice game for him. Made some plays in the field. Moved around defensively a little bit. Reached 3 times tonight. Strike on the corner, 0-2. Dirt, nice play by Casale.
I have no idea. You see goalies throughout your season in hockey. How would you describe this?
I'd say that's going post to post.
Post to post.
That's a long way to go to make that block. Monasterio into left for a base hit. Anderson being held at third. That was a hard hit ball from Monasterio, who has his second hit tonight and has reached 4 times.
What a great story. A walk, has a double, a single.
I'll bring up Joey Weimer, who's wearing a mic for us tonight.
Hottest game of the year. Concert after. They want things to run smoothly. There's like a 100% chance we go to extras tonight.
No kidding.
It's baseball.
So the go-ahead run 90 feet away for Milwaukee with nobody out. And a pitch high and tight to Weimer.
Joey knows old adage in baseball, don't ever try to make any plans after a game because they're just going to get ruined.
See if they send Monasterio here first with Anderson at third. All I know is there are 44,000 people anxiously awaiting Zach Brown game. Ball's out. 3-0.
You're right. At some point, the crowd is going to care less who wins the game as long as somebody does and does it soon.
Strike at the corner. Don't want to undersell the importance of this game, though. And again, you know, the Brewers entering the day first place in the NL Central. Pirates are losing 5-0, so they are getting that benefit to the Cardinals, mind you, as Weimer walks and the bases are now loaded. Cincinnati will use their extra mound visit.
Derek Johnson coming back out again.
Reds, as mentioned, 5 of 6, 7 of 10 in all coming in. Milwaukee trying to get off the schneid. I mean, offense, right? Game is locked at 3 apiece. You see the Brewers box score. They've been putting the ball in play, which is something they've struggled to do. Weimer with a 2-run homer in the second, and they manufactured a run in the fourth. Neither team has scored since the 4th inning. Now the Brewers hitless in their last 12 at bats with the bases loaded. It's inside. They wouldn't even need a hit here.
Nope. And you know, at this point, if you're Cincinnati, you have to reserve your mind to, okay, a run is going to come across the board. Let's just minimize the damage. The extra inning rules, it's really hard to string at bats against relievers, any reliever. That's why the automatic runner at second, a little frustrating for relievers because it's like, hey, it's hard to get on against me.
On the ground, tough play. India to second for one on to first. No! Brewers get a run as Anderson scores. That was going to happen regardless, but that missed opportunity to get the second out may loom large. With a runner now at third.
Spencer Steer at first base. When India is making the turn, he takes a couple steps towards the baseball, and it takes him out of position at first.
I wonder if that confusion between Cruz and Steer crossed him up.
He's safe no matter what with Caratini, so they're lucky there.
So Weimer erased. Caratini reaches. Turang squares around and has to duck out of the way. Monasterio now 90 feet away. And the Brewers have a 4-3 lead. Oh, this is knocked down by the pitcher. Goes to second for one. On to first. Not in time. And the Brewers tack on another. Fernando Cruz knocked down that ball. Went to second for the force. Tried to turn two. It's now 5-3 Milwaukee.
The mistake from Cruz after knocking it down. You don't field it clean. You don't have time to get Bryce Turang. You would have had to make a perfect fielding play where you go and turn around straight to second to get him out. Your best play was to come home. He'll take the out, but there's a play to be had at home plate.
Monasterio comes across, and the Brewers lead by 2. Rowdy Tellez now.
Well, the same challenge Cruz is having this inning after expending a ton of energy, adrenaline to get out of the 10th. Elvis Peguero, who's going to come in, is going to be put in that same spot.
Tellez pops one foul.
Yes.
And Tellez strikes out to end the inning, but the Brewers have taken the lead in the 11th. 5-3 as we enter the bottom half. Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. Will they hang around for the concert happy? Well, I think everybody's going to have a good time anyway. It's a nice night in Cincinnati, but they'll be a lot happier if they could come away with a win. But the Brewers, they've struggled to do this over the last month plus, find ways to score runs, and they got 2 across in the 11th.
They did, and this game has been interesting because it's been well pitched from Milwaukee's standpoint. Only two hits from the Cincinnati Reds, and the Reds are still right here in it. You get into the automatic late game scenarios where you're going to get a runner at second base. New pitcher coming in, Bryce Wilson, and anything can still happen from the Reds' perspective.
So Wilson makes his 17th appearance out of the bullpen for Milwaukee. Last pitched on Tuesday against Toronto and a 7-2 loss. Pitched an inning and 2/3 that night. Tyler Stevenson is the special runner at second, with Nick Senzel at the plate.
And in the case of Bryce Wilson, does have 2 saves on the season. 3 saves in his 6-year big league career. There's a sinker, cut fastball, 4-seam. A little bit of a Lance Lynn repertoire.
Nick Senzel looking for his 3rd walk-off moment this year. Beg your pardon, it wouldn't be a walk-off situation. He does have 2 of them this year, though. One against the Rangers in April, one against the Cardinals in May. Reds just hoping to tie the game at this rate. Stuart Fairchild is on deck.
Ball's out. The last thing you could do if your Bryce Wilson, you do not want to walk.
This is flared into shallow right. Anderson has a beat on it, and he makes the catch. Senzel 0 for 5 tonight. There's Fairchild, who's 0 for 4. The Reds still, I mean, they've had base runners aplenty tonight, Spilly, but only 2 hits. Cincinnati in all has left 9 on base. And they are 0 for 14 with runners in scoring position.
Outside. Fastball coming in 95 miles an hour. Just late movement to it as well.
Off the middle on the ground, backhanded stop Monasterio. What a play! Wow! He moved from short to second mid-game and didn't miss a beat.
Well, he's not missing an opportunity to take advantage of what's been presented to him with injuries. What a night for him. Talked about the offensive approach. 2 hits, backhand. Spent 9 seasons in the minor leagues with multiple organizations.
Last hope for the Reds is Kurt Casale.
I just can't get over the play. And you take a hit away, it would have scored a run. You'd have runner at first, 1 out.
Well, you're a big soccer guy, Spilly. He'd be your man of the match, huh?
He is the man of the match. That's beautiful. He doesn't even really get a chance to set his feet because he rolled it. Fairchild, who runs well. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Well, if this game is to be prolonged, Casale would be an unlikely guy to do it. Just 5 walks and 9 hits in 64 plate appearances this year. Casale into the left center gap. That will be down for hits. And off the wall, Casale into second. The Reds stay alive with an RBI double from Kurt Casale. Just his 2nd extra base hit this season.
What a range of emotions for fans in just watching this game play out. Casale stays on a two-seam fastball, doesn't get much movement, stays flat. Joey in center field giving his best effort, but he misses it by a good couple feet. Former Cincinnati Bearcat, he's kind of hoping it would hit his glove. And now with Spencer Steer, the reigning rookie of the month of May, they have a chance to walk him off.
You aren't kidding. Range of emotions and potential outcomes. Jose Barrero, pinch runner for Casale. Two and 0 to Steer.
Bryce Wilson's given up 2 home runs this season, both to right-handed batters.
Just misses. .3-1 catches the outside corner.
I think DJ Reedberg just said to Spencer Steer that was on his swing.
Here comes a payoff. Runner in motion. Steer. Ground ball to second. That will do it. Monasterio fittingly with the final out. And the Brewers hang on to win 5-4 in 11.
What a match. What a game. The backdrop of Lou Gehrig's day on a Friday night. Zach Brown Band concert coming up after. This had every range of emotion, a good album start to finish. Some sing-alongs, some Give Me the Cheese.
On a special night with a sellout crowd to see it. Dramatic finish, but the Brewers will remain atop the NL Central with a 5-4 victory in extra innings over Cincinnati. Earlier, we talked to John Driscoll Hopkins of the Zach Brown Band, who founded the Hop on a Cure Foundation. We ask you to donate to the Hop on a Cure Foundation. Visit hoponacure.org. All part of a special night across Major League Baseball on this Lou Gehrig Day. Tremendous game in Cincinnati, and the Brewers grind it out in 11 innings. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV Plus returns next week with another doubleheader. First at 7 Eastern, the Kansas City Royals head to Baltimore to take on the Orioles. Then at 9:30, the Seattle Mariners head to Orange County for an AL West showdown with the LA Angels. So for Ryan Spilbergs, Trisha Whitaker, and our entire crew, this is Alex Faust. Stay tuned for Friday Night Baseball post-game coverage from the studio. We will see you next week from Baltimore.